I am back today with the Hyundai Elantra GT Sport. 6-speed manual in this car. I was at the launch a couple of months ago and I had an opportunity to drive this on some pretty decent back roads, but I wanted to get another drive in it this week and spend a little bit more time in the car and give you guys some just a little bit more in-depth feedback and make some better videos on this thing, because it's kind of a sweet little hot hatch. It's well equipped. It is nice. It's a nice interior, pretty roomy. It rides well. I think it looks pretty good. Kind of a European style, European inspired design, which makes sense because it is basically the Hyundai i30 from Europe. Nice 18-inch wheels on this car. And I like the red accents on the interior. And you also get that bright red shift knob on the 6-speed manual. I think it's a decent looking car. Good design language for Hyundai these days. A little bit of gear wind and going into reverse there. So, first thing you notice, pretty decent power coming from this engine here. It pulls hard, it feels good. There's a nice and meaty section between 3,000 RPM to about 5,500 RPM. And then it begins to fall off just a little bit towards the higher revs. The brakes feel good. It's really easy to heel and toe downshift. But one thing, as you can notice right there, is that there's quite a bit of buzzkill from the traction control when exiting corners and getting a little bit of wheel spin. If you're driving this and you're pulling out of a second gear corner, it's just going to completely cut things off for you. So I've been actually just disabling traction and stability control right when I get in the car. The shifter's good. You can shift really quickly. You can make nice, quick, concise, fast shifts with this. But when you're just driving normally, it doesn't quite have the feel that I like. It's better than the Honda Civic Sport, but it's not a great shifter. It's a little bit light. It feels a little bit cheap. When you're really hustling it though, it gets better. So that's kind of one little caveat, is that it's good when you're banging through gears, not so good on a daily basis when you're just driving normally. Another little nitpick I have is the engine is just a little bit droney when you're downshifting at high revs. Just kind of, it doesn't have quite a good sound to it. But overall, for the rest of the time, it's really pretty quiet. See, they're getting quite a bit of wheel spin out of that corner. I will say this little car handles quite well. It's got a lot of mechanical grip. It's easy to drive. It's pretty fun to drive. And there's a lot of torque. It's a pretty meaty feeling power band. It feels light on its feet. The whole car just kind of has a nice responsiveness to it. And all of the inputs they feel good. It's a fun car to drive, but it's also a comfortable car. This probably isn't as fun to drive as something like the Fiesta ST. However, it is a lot more comfortable, and I think maybe a little bit more livable, just in the sense that it has a lot more room on the inside, and it doesn't feel as cramped in here. I feel like this would make a nice daily driver. You could be very comfortable in this car. It's quiet when you're cruising. It has a nice, decent sound system. Hyundai have done a good job just putting together a nicely trimmed package, and the fact that they're offering a manual transmission is great alongside the DSG. This sport model doesn't have all of the radar guided cruise control, lane keep assist, all those features, simply because they just haven't really programmed it for the manual transmission. That works great with the DSG, but the manual is a different story. That would just take a whole new set of software and programming that they may introduce down the road, but I wouldn't count on it. Think of this as kind of the driver's enthusiast version of the Elantra GT. Pretty decent grip around this entrance ramp. About 60 miles an hour there. You know, this car feels good. It's not as fun to drive, or, you know, it doesn't feel as high quality as something like a GTI, but it's not as expensive as a GTI. These aren't that much, and for a practical little hot hatch, it might not be a bad buy. It's definitely quick. It feels a lot faster than I expected it to be, and it has a nice engine, nice transmission. I basically, at this point, I kind of want to see how I feel about it at the end of the week. Right now, I'm a little bit, it's okay. It's not something I would consider buying. It's a good effort by Hyundai. I think it's a good car that does a lot of things well. It'd be fun to autocross. I'm not really sure you'd be able to get much light track use out of it, but I'm not in love with it. It's a little bit dull, but it offers really good value for money, and it has a lot of really neat tech features. This infotainment is awesome. It works really, really well. It's fast, it's responsive. You have a ton of features like heated seats and auto climate control, dual zone climate control. You've got a bunch of USB ports and just a lot of great features. The interior quality feels nice. The headlights work really well. All the touch points feel pretty good, pretty premium. It's a nice place to be. So, if you're not necessarily looking for the most fun car to drive out there, this is kind of a good livable medium. It seems to do everything pretty darn well. So, there you go. Those are kind of my first impressions after actually just taking delivery of this car this week. So, I'm going to have it through the end of the week. I'll probably make a couple more videos. Check out Winding Road Magazine's YouTube channel for the POV test drive, and I'll either throw up a night drive either here or on Winding Road before my loan is out on this car. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments or there's anything else you want to see with this vehicle. We will talk to you in the next video. Take care. Ooh, brake smell.